Hey, my good youth ministry friends. My name's Marv Penner, and over the past year or so, I've had the privilege of thinking deeply about what may be one of the most significant and challenging issues we face as youth ministry leaders today. It's the challenge of putting together a good, solid team of volunteers to help facilitate the ministry that God's called us to with our students. We all know that putting a team together is hard work. People are reluctant to commit. They're busy. They're distracted. Many of them, frankly, are afraid of working with teenagers. But of course, all of us know that Lone Ranger youth ministry isn't an option. And so we've got to think through carefully what it means to put together a good, solid team. When Standard Publishing asked me to participate in their Youth Ministry in the Trenches series by writing a book on building and mobilizing teams, I jumped at the opportunity. You see, over the last almost 40 years that I've been involved in youth ministry, I've had the privilege of being on all sorts of good teams that have been led by outstanding leaders. And as I watched them, I learned lots of lessons. Of course, I've had my share of leadership opportunities myself and learned a lot of lessons along the way there, mostly by my own mistakes. And so when I sat down to put this book together, my desire was to give you a practical tool that would help you avoid some of the mistakes, some of the blunders that I've made along the way. I wanted to help you think through really carefully. How do you screen and recruit workers well? How do you integrate them into the team if there's already a team in place? How do you pastor and care for your volunteers so that they're empowered and equipped to stay on for the long haul? And even the thorny issue of how do you deal with a volunteer who's just not working out? How do you fire a volunteer? My desire was not to write a book that would be philosophical and theoretical, but something that would be practical and useful on a day-to-day basis. And my prayer is that as you open this book, you're going to find it to be practical. You're going to find it to be helpful. You're going to find it to be something that you can use on a regular day-to-day basis. So for the sake of the kingdom, for the sake of your kids, for the sake of your own sanity, I want to encourage you to have a look at building and mobilizing teams. I think it'll help you in that area of great challenge as you do your youth ministry. And my prayer is that it'll free up some of your emotional energy to invest it in some of the more significant things that you can do with your gifts and abilities that God's given you. Hey, as you read, if you've got any suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. This is an ongoing conversation, and we can all learn from one another. And so don't hesitate to let me know if you've got some ideas, if you've got some squabbles with something I've written. I'd love to hear it as well. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep our team strong. And for the sake of our students, let's make sure that we're being as effective as we possibly can be in ministry. I think this In the Trenches series is going to help you do that. So God bless you as you serve Him and as you serve the students that He's entrusted to your care.